Hello everyone, I'm Suraj. As this is the day 6 of my training session, and I've got a couple of questions in the form of assignment. So let's just quickly dive into it. So the first question here is create an account on BitBucket and GitHub with a company email ID. So here we'll try to understand what is BitBucket and GitHub. BitBucket and GitHub, these both are basically a repository management solution, I can say. It is also called as a code versioning tool. First, we'll try to understand why it is called as a repository management tool. Here we can consider repository as a storage where the source code will be stored or might be modified by the developers. We try to understand this in brief with an example. Say for example, there are two developers, developer A and developer B. Say for example, developer A is developing a feature called as login and developer B is developing a feature called as sign up. So they'll be pulling the source code from the repository to the local device, we can say, and the developer A will be developing for login feature, as I said, and the B with the sign up. So when these both are done, they will be pushing the code to the repository, and in the repository it will be integrated, and the source code will be modified, or it will be moving to the next version of it. Say, for example, the code version was previously a 1.0. So when these have modified the code and pushed it to the repository, the code or the version of the code will be changed to 1.1 and so on. Yes, so we'll try to go ahead with the BitBucket sign up. So yes, we should click on this sign up using BitBucket. So we'll be getting the two text fields, which is the email address and the full name text field. So here we should enter the company mail. The full name. Sorry, just a second. So we'll be getting a captcha. So we should solve this. Motorcycles. Yes. Okay. So yes, it is popping a notification as check your inbox to log in. So we'll go ahead with the mail. Yes, just a second. Okay. Okay. So click on verify your mail. So it will be redirecting to this page. So we should create. Okay, so you should give a username. So from okay, so this is it. The account has been created in the BitBucket. So yes, moving ahead with the GitHub sign up. So yes, we should be clicking on sign up. Here we'll be getting a button. Enter your mail, which is the company mail. Just click on continue. Create a password. So select the URL. Okay, I guess it is already taken. Okay, so let's give. Okay, so yes, so we'll be getting this, which is, so yes, we'll be getting this, which is, would you like to receive product updates and announced via mail? So yes, if you want, yes, you can give. Why? Just please solve this puzzle to verify that you are a human. Click on the start button. Okay, so pick the spiral galaxy. Okay, says create an account. So yes, it is saying that you're almost done. We sent the launch code to the mail. So just a second, I'll verify my mail. Okay, just try to refresh this. Okay, so I got the mail. So this is the code. Just copy this. Just copy this code and paste it here. So yes, this is it. And further, we can just moving forward. We can just make the selections as how many team members will be working with you. Just for the time being, I'll be just clicking on just me, student or teacher, student. Let's continue. Okay, so this is it. So yes, moving ahead, if you want to deep dive into the topic, the BitBucket was developed by the Atlancia, whereas the GitHub was developed by GitHub Incorporation. But in 2018, it was taken by the Microsoft. BitBucket, here BitBucket provides 5 private repository and GitHub provides 3 private repository where they can collaborate between this. It doesn't mean like they won't be providing the collaboration beyond the 5 or beyond the 3, but we can say that for 5 collaboration or till the 5 collaboration, it is free in the Bitbucket, whereas in GitHub, it is free until the 3 collaboration or 3 persons collaborating each other. So yes, moving on to the next question. What is the use of generating public key and private key when accessing Bitbucket code? Here, both the private and public key are used for authentication and encryption of the code, which has been stored in the repository. Say, for example, developer A wants to update the code, which has been stored in the repository. So first, he'll be cloning the repository, then he'll be altering or updating the code, then he'll be pushing back the code to the repository, and the code will be updated. So yes, when we are calling for we are cloning the repository, this can be done in 2 ways. One is through the HTTPS and another one is through SSH, which is a secure shell. Here, when we are going through the HTTPS, there is a field where we need to give the password. Here it means that if the hacker, if he gets just the password, he can just alter everything in the source code and he can make disastrous change in this. But when we are going through the SSH, there will be 2 keys, which is the private key and the public key, which means public key we'll be having and the private key, which will be a local device. It will be stored into the local device. It will recognize the private key and it will just do the authentication process, and then it is good to go with this. So yes, thank you everyone.